Hi everyone, welcome back again. A very good evening to all of you, and I hope all of you are doing great. Now, today the video is going to be really interesting and relatable at the same time because in today's video we are going to talk about Indian English, and I know that I'll be repeating some points, but then it's always good to talk and share about your own culture, what you all do, what you all say. So, having said that, the first fact that I'm going to tell you about Indian English is that English is the official language in 7 states and 7 union territories. And the second fact is that it is followed by the Indian judiciary system as well. So, it is the only official language that is accepted by the Indian judiciary system. Now, these are some of the facts that definitely are there when we talk about the system that works. But having said that, now talking about some spellings and some grammar rules. Now, definitely, we all people have an influence of British English more than any other form of English. Still, we try to follow American accents and American English, American way of speaking, American spellings these days. But the roots that we follow are same as in British English. Now, this letter R has been a star throughout the series, and here one more time I would like to mention a rule related to R, and it is that in Indian English we do pronounce R, and there is a crisp pronunciation of this letter, but in British English it is not the same case. It goes contrary in British English because there we do not pronounce R in specific. And other things related to spellings are that in some words we follow ZE pattern nowadays, that is with American pattern, but still we people accept SE pattern as well. Now I'm going to give you a detail about it. So in words like organize, this I mentioned in previous videos also. In words like organize, although these days people are using ORGANIZE, but still ORGANISE is also acceptable because I already told you that SE pattern is something that is followed in British English, and that is why we people also used to follow the same pattern. But these days these things have changed, and but still this is into acceptance, and that is why some of the people write it this way as well. Same goes with the spelling of color. Now the pattern that we used to follow earlier was COLOUR, that is the British English pattern, but these days we are accepting COLOR as well. So thanks to Americans, but this is what it is. Now talking about some other spellings in words like defense. Now in words like defense, the Americans follow DEFENSE pattern, and in British English, that is the Indian English also, DEFENCE is the pattern that we guys follow for the same words. But these days we are accepting everything, so it's not wrong if I say that American English is also too much into practice these days. Now, since we have so many rules related to the way of spelling some words, so that is why here is one more important rule, and that is the double L rule. Now, I'll explain it to you in details. So, whenever an English word in Indian English, whenever we need to spell a word that has a vowel and the vowel is followed by letter L, then if in case we want to add ed or ing, that is if we want to talk about it in past tense or continuous tense, then the word L, then the specific letter L doubles itself, and then the spellings may go like this: CANCELLED. This is what we pronounce it as, and this is what we spell it as in Indian English. But contrary to this is done in American English, and their spelling of cancelled would be CANCELED. So this is something that is very different in American English and Indian English. Now there are some other spellings as well that I'll be talking about specifically, and they are that in British English we follow the pattern of RE, or that is the Indian English as well, but in American English ER pattern is more followed. So words ending with ER would actually end with RE in Indian way of spelling it. So the words like center, now center in American English is pronounced as CENTER, but here in Indian English it would be spelled as CENTRE. And that is how there are so many words related to the same thing. Now, talking about the vocabulary specifically, we've always seen that there have been always changes when it comes to using different kinds of words for the same thing. And that is how in this, I will be giving you some examples. Like this game soccer, this is actually called as soccer in American English, but here in Indian English, we call it as football. Then words like pants. Pants is actually said in American English, but in British English, or we can say in Indian English, it is pronounced as trousers. And like in American English, we say drugstore. In Indian English, we call it as chemist. Now I know that this video and the previous videos have been more of a comparison between one and the other form of English, but still comparisons are important, because without those comparisons the interpretation of that would not be done in a correct way. So that is why I had to take the help of these other forms of English as well. But having said that, I hope I was able to clear most of the things in this video. Now see you again in the other videos, and I hope that I was able to clear most of the confusions.